Sex in and of itself is boring. Any man who sits and says that sex is great or sex is fun just clearly hasn't had enough sex, because sex is boring. Sex is a chore. Sex is like food. You don't really care unless you're really hungry, and then you eat and you don't care again. And it's it's one of those things you do every once in a while because it's an urge, but it's not a real big deal. Like every person needs food and every person likes food.
Have you ever been in love?
Completely. But
It's something about having sex and making love.
Yeah,
different.
No. If you're in love, you might want sex more often. You might be hungry more often. My point is that if you're someone who goes through life and only talks about and cares about food, it's a bit weird. Same thing with sex. Sex is something that happens, and it happens between people who love each other, and it's a great thing. But it's not the be-all and end-all of life. It's really not that great. I don't think sex is the most stimulating and interesting thing in the world. Doesn't matter who the girl is. Doesn't matter if you love her or not. I don't think it's the greatest, best thing in the world. Any dude who's out here is like, wow, 2 pairs of tits. Just hasn't fucked very much. Who gives a shit?
Do you think you've overachieved so much already? This is why you're kind of like...
Jaded? No. I just think that men who are super interested in sex or sexual fantasies of these things are men who are semi-deprived. If you have an abundance of food, if you have a fridge full of food all the time, you don't eat all the time. Sometimes you just don't want to. It's always there, right? Yeah. But if you're starving, as soon as food appears, you're all over it. It's the same with sex. Any dude is like, wow, threesome, okay, I need it. It's a guy who's deprived. A guy who has as much as he wants all the time ain't going to be really that interested in it.
So you're comparing women to food. Okay.
Correct.